Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Josie, also known as the Ex-Plant Eater. I am an ex-vegan of 14 years turned carnivore to heal my ulcerative colitis, as well as a host of other issues that I had that have significantly improved since I stopped being vegan and reintroduced animal products. I wanted to do something a little different today. Something that you guys get a huge kick out of on my Instagram is the Wall of Shame. It is where I categorize all of the craziest comments I've gotten from vegans and the craziest situations where, say, they've lied to me about something health-wise and then my followers found out that they were lying about it. It's just a fun time. And you know, my goal with my account is never to specifically hate on vegans. It's really just to educate about what a strict vegan diet can do if you follow it for long enough, and why you shouldn't be afraid to reintroduce animal products when those health issues start cropping up. So again, my goal has never been to specifically like hate on vegans. I don't have a personal vendetta against vegans or veganism. My only goal is honesty with the way these two ways of eating have treated me. So these people that comment these things don't seem to get that, and we've had some really crazy situations happen. So again, I wanted to just kind of go over some of those situations, and I'm gonna put a timestamp up of when I'm gonna start talking about that. Otherwise, this video is just gonna be a vlog and kind of like a what I eat in a day video. I did want to also give a shout out to Eva Design Agency on Instagram. She actually designed this new graphic for the Wall of Shame for me, as well as all of my other Instagram highlights. They came out super cute, and I wanted to just shout her out for all of the people in the animal-based and carnivore community that watch my channel. If you are looking for graphic designs or some kind of other artwork for something carnivore related or anything else as well, to definitely check out her two Instagrams, and I will definitely link any website that she might be associated with in my description as well if you want to check her out. I want to just say thank you to her once again. I have mentioned months ago that I was eating some fruit. I'm still not really technically eating fruit, but after I did get sick with that cold, I wanted to just reintroduce a tiny bit of fruit to see if the vitamin C might help with recovery from the colds. And I do also work out for about an hour, about 5 days a week, so I did want to see if the addition of a tiny bit of carbs might help with my performance. And I honestly didn't notice much. I think maybe the electrolytes in fruit juices, because as I will show you today, it's the only thing I've started including again is cold pressed juice, which isn't really that different anyway from what I normally do, because I have been having cold pressed lemon and lime juice this whole time anyway. But I will show you that today, what I am having. I didn't notice a difference too much, honestly. I just enjoy the flavor, so I've been having some cold pressed grapefruit juice. But other than that, my diet's not really any different. I have been wanting to try to introduce a little bit of fruit, like actual fruit with fiber, to just see how it goes, but I'm not gonna do that today. When I do it, I will update you guys on how it goes. But yeah, without further ado, I'll show you guys what I'm eating for breakfast. It is 3 eggs, pasture raised. I can't remember the brand. It wasn't Vital Farms today. 80/20 ground beef patty, and coffee with frothed, half and half, organic like always, and about half a tablespoon of beef tallow, and always Redmond's real salt. So that is my breakfast slash brunch, and I will see you guys for the next segment of this video. Hey guys, so midday update. I wanted to just shout out Body by Bulb. I was just on his podcast. We had a very interesting conversation. He really took the time to ask me in depth about my childhood and then about my like middle school years, to kind of paint a picture of what led me up to developing my eating disorder and then becoming vegan. So it was super introspective, and it was a really great chat, and I will be posting about it on my Instagram when the podcast does come out. I did look back at some of the clips from earlier, and I noticed that my eyes, you could kind of like clearly tell that I either look like I have bad allergies or like I was crying. And for the sake of transparency and just wanting to be open with you guys about certain things, especially when I look the way I do, I know you might not even have been able to tell, but I could tell. So I do tend to mention in podcasts my fiance's family. We had a pretty unexpected death. His brother passed away last year in a car accident, and it's been a hard couple of days. I'm sure for people that have lost someone, you know that it does kind of creep up on you when you're least expecting it. And yeah, without getting too deep into it, didn't have the best night last night, and I didn't really feel like putting on makeup again today, but I did want to film this video. So yeah, I will say with Carnivore, on a daily basis, my well-being is a lot better, my mental health is a lot better, but it obviously is not a cure-all. There is no diet in this world that is a cure-all for all, you know, for everything that's going to crop up and be like a hard thing for you. You can really only cope, especially when it comes to things like this, in the healthiest way possible and just get through your emotions. So while the way of eating that I'm doing now has helped immensely with my mental and emotional state, it can't just fix everything, and I can never expect that of a diet. It's unrealistic, and you shouldn't want to not feel emotions, you know? Overall, Carnivore has helped with my emotional state so much. But I wanted to ask you guys, what do you do when you are having a hard time, or when you might just not be having the best day, or you might feel a little low? Personally, for me, last night me and my fiance watched Boy Meets World. It's a very nostalgic show for both of us, so it put us both in a way better mood after we were both really upset. And I feel like it's things like that, like either watching a really funny show, or like a nostalgic show, or listening to a really good song, or even eating a really good meal, or working out, whatever. Also sticking to your like normal daily habits that are like healthy coping mechanisms for those hard periods of time in your life where emotionally you're not feeling as good. Because I know for me that put me in a way better mood last night. But yeah, I'll show you guys my next meal, and then I'm going to be reading those hate comments in the last segment of this video, so I'm looking forward to that. So it's a really hot day here out in New York. I did want to just show you guys, we're about to go in the pool, so I'm going to have another cup of iced coffee. I know there were some mixed opinions in my last video where I did mention I had about 3 cups of coffee that day when I wasn't feeling good. I do average out still to about 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day. It's not really something that I plan to reduce. I mean, maybe if I have a reason to soon in the future, I might, but yeah, it's like 2 to 3 cups still a day for me. So again, this is iced coffee with a few tablespoons of heavy cream. I did mention I've been having a little bit of fruit juice, like cold pressed fruit juice. So this is about a half cup of grapefruit juice. And I'm not having this cheese right now, but I did have a little bit of this raw Gruyere. I'm definitely gonna butcher that. I butcher like every type of foreign name of food that I say, but it's raw, and I have transitioned to just eating raw cheese. I can't get raw milk on a daily basis, so I don't have raw milk, but I did mention that the heavy cream that I buy is at least lightly pasteurized, so hopefully it has some of those benefits of raw milk, and I will show you guys my dinner in a little bit. I wanted to just show you what I'm eating for dinner quickly. I have some shrimp and some eggs here, and I'm having a piece of mahi-mahi. All right, so we're here. We're gonna talk about the wall of shame. If you are not familiar and you don't follow me on Instagram just yet, you definitely should. I post a lot more frequently on there. But on Instagram, I have this thing called the wall of shame. It's in my highlights section, and it is where I categorize the craziest of the crazy comments that I usually get from vegans. From what I understand, some of these people are just crazy. They're not even vegan, they're just crazy. And it's just a fun place to document all of it. So it all began from this one lady who I think commented on one of my before and after posts. I guess she found it from the Explore page, or like a lot of them, she was probably seeking out posts like this to go and attempt to spread her beliefs. And she commented, "You weren't vegan, period. Mentally ill people think they deserve to kill something for a meal. That's insane selfishness." And I gave her this very long response. Vegans make up less than 1% of the population. By your logic, that means 99% of the population is mentally ill. That alone is absolutely ridiculous. I can also say that anecdotally, vegans are some of the most mentally unstable folks I've ever encountered on the whole, while carnivores or animal-based people tend to be mentally sound and composed due to nutritional needs being met. You say I wasn't vegan as if it's a badge of honor that's being taken from me. I was vegan, and I don't care to defend that either. I would have preferred not being vegan for all those years, in fact, because it would have prevented me from nearly dying from an autoimmune disorder. You're clearly seeking out posts like this to get yourself angry and push your diet on others. Let me tell you, you're the worst kind of vegan. When I was vegan, I was never preachy or oppressive about it. and it made those around me open to veganism. This is the last I'll respond to you because you're clearly ignorant beyond help. This page is for people looking to improve their health after becoming debilitatingly ill from the nutritional deficiencies that are inevitable on a vegan diet, whether they begin to affect you at year 1 or year 20. Goodbye. So I did plan to stop commenting back to her after this. Then she came out with this insanely profane and vulgar response to me. And I might not read all of it because I remember it being incredibly vulgar. She said, ha ha, ha ha ha, in all capital letters. Oh my God, you're such a lame excuse for a human being. You made a public page about your dissent from veganism. Dissent, that's a funny way of describing it. And you can't handle 2 posts from a vegan simply noting a few facts. Yes, because what she was saying was facts. Good Lord, how pathetic. You think I wanted to see your lame profile? This blasphemous dung showed up on my feed. The worst kind of humans are in fact more like you, prioritizing feminizing their body. And then in parentheses she wrote, good luck with that. You look like a starved Russian boy. I definitely look like a boy. Definitely. By eating tortured animals and not once thinking about how much that animal is in pain. Hope you get heart disease consuming all that nasty death, you pallid, thin-lipped weirdo. Bye, in all capital letters. So, I don't know. Just based on my comment and hers, I feel like she was the one that was getting a little bit more bent out of shape, but you know, that's just me making assumptions. And I had said to her that I was done responding, but when vegans resort so low to insult your appearance because they have no other argument, I always used to feel the need to point it out. I don't really do that anymore because I just don't engage as much because it's just a waste of time. But back then, I commented back to her, insulting my appearance because you have no real argument. Low-life vegan whose brain is rotting. Stay triggered. And that was just me honestly being a little pissed because of how rude what she'd said was. So then I will just put her comment on the screen. I'm not going to read this out. It's incredibly vulgar and incredibly just offensive. So after that, I think I reported her comment, and then I think her account got deleted or something. I don't even remember. But she was what inspired me to make the wall of shame. That exchange, because it was so profane, made me want to immortalize these things in some way. So that was how it all started. Was this lady who was clearly very triggered by my post and obviously thinks everybody should be vegan regardless of if their health suffers from doing it. So that was how it all started. Hey guys, so I feel like this happens a lot. My camera died, so there has been a brief intermission between now and the last clip. Brief intermission meaning a whole day. I'm finishing up this video the following day. I'm not going to read every single one on the wall of shame. If you want to see all of them, you can totally go and check it out yourself. So yeah, I'm just going to go over the craziest ones. I remember there was a vegan who commented on my YouTube channel. The only reason I decided to even respond to her to begin with was because she had commented back to somebody else who I think commented congratulating me on my health getting better, and she commented to them like, it's clear what's going on here. She's like making it up or something like that. So that's when I decided, all right, I'm gonna answer her comment. So she said on my video about how I left veganism, eating animal products is unnecessary violence. Have you watched Dominion and Earthlings, which shows what happens to the animals? Which I love when they use this argument as if any person who was vegan at some point hasn't seen those documentaries. Of course we have. And we have all, people who have left veganism, have seen the truth about them, that they're very cherry-picked. Being vegan means to be against animal cruelty and not cause it as much as possible and practicable. Did you get a blood test? Go to a plant-based dietitian/nutritionist. Do you have scientific evidence that your symptoms were linked to eating plant-based and that the cure was eating animal products of violence? Yeah, that was how she described animal products. Products of violence. So I got back to her. Okay, so it went to the next slide, and I can see somebody else said to her, veganism is about ethics. Do you not care about the well-being of another human? Which is a point that I tend to bring up to them as well, which always have some comeback for. So then she said back, of course I do. She admits she doesn't know if being vegan caused her symptoms. It's very clear what's going on here. So that was what made me want to respond to her, because I was like, what is this person talking about? What's going on here? She clearly thinks I'm spreading some kind of agenda, which I'm not. I just am sharing my story after fixing my disease, eating animal products again, something that I never thought would happen before I stopped being vegan. So I said back to her after that, I've already answered comments like this ad nauseum, but here it goes again. Yes, I've seen Earthlings. It was the film that I watched right before deciding to go vegan. Dominion has been largely debunked and I have no reason to watch it. I saw many doctors when I was diagnosed with colitis, none of which implicated me being vegan caused my colitis. In fact, they offered me no solutions other than medication and cutting out fiber from my diet, which would have left me eating refined carbohydrates which have no nutrition. I tried many things after being diagnosed and tweaking my diet, taking supplements, all while staying vegan. None of it worked, and it left me looking about 10 years older than I do presently, with no energy and continued colitis flare-ups. Yes, I had blood tests throughout dealing with colitis, and I was always deficient in key nutrients no matter how much I diversified and attempted to balance my diet. I wasn't absorbing the food I was eating. On an animal-based diet, I have great digestion, my skin has literally reverse aged, I no longer have bags under my eyes, I have energy, the list goes on. And now you will accuse me of caring more about my skin than caring about animals. LOL. Your skin is your largest organ, and aging prematurely and having huge bags under your eyes indicate that your health is suffering. Lastly, you really think your way of eating doesn't cause harm to any wildlife and ecology? You care about a select group of animals and don't think twice about the wildlife that are killed when fields are cleared and crops are harvested and sprayed. Ever looked at those numbers? There is no way of eating and no way of life that doesn't cause some form of harm to another living thing. To tell yourself otherwise is fairy tale. Regenerative farming and agricultural practices and supporting local and family farms are better for the environment than buying vegan products shipped from all over the place ever could be. While I'm at it, your diet is also deficient in a number of key nutrients and completely devoid of collagen and cholesterol. The effect of having none in your diet for years upon years will cause deterioration as time goes on. So, what exactly is clear about what's going on here to you? I'd love to hear your response. So after she deleted her previous comment, she comments again and writes, just so everyone knows, she deletes comments that anyone makes providing evidence against her claims. She's promoting unnecessary violence with zero evidence. This is my final comment, which it wasn't. As a person who has been to slaughterhouses and seen what happens to the animals, this is beyond disturbing. So this is something I see a lot as well, where the vegan takes an almost like martyred approach, like, this is the last thing I'm gonna say, but just so you all know, she's promoting a diet of violence. And as I think a lot of us know, when going from veganism back to eating an animal-based diet, we realize a lot of the information in those documentaries that she pointed out is very cherry-picked. Obviously, nobody wants to support animal cruelty, but it's not as widespread a practice as we believe as vegans. Just because you buy animal products that came from a slaughterhouse, it doesn't mean that you're automatically supporting a practice that abuses animals. Slaughtering an animal to eat it is not synonymous with abusing animals. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So after she commented that, I was like mind blown at how like disingenuous this girl was being, because I don't delete any comments. I said back to her, what? LMAO, there are plenty of other comments with people debating me that have been left up. You are crazy and dishonest, which is typical of a true vegan. Recomment all the studies again and I'll be happy to leave them up with my response. So that was another thing. I don't think I was able to get the screenshot of it, but she commented back to my previous comment with a long list of studies and just trying to refute everything I said, and I believe that before I could even respond to that, she deleted it. So then she deleted her comment again. That was another instance where I realized the disingenuineness and immaturity of vegans was at like a whole nother level than I'd even previously thought. Obviously not all vegans are like this, but the fact that this girl would delete her own comments and then accuse me of deleting them to make it look like I did delete them, it blew my mind. So let's see. I get a lot of people just spamming every single post on my page, just saying complete BS, like saying that girl's comment, but just 50 times, which in a way, in the end, I always end up thanking them because they're just causing my post to be promoted more. So there's been a lot of that. Another great comment that I got was on my video about reverse aging, when somebody said, unfortunately, science disagrees with you. And I was like, my own face is enough evidence for me to know that an animal-based diet reverse ages you. I don't need any study to tell me that it doesn't. I literally saw my own face slowly begin to look about 10 years younger than it did at this time last year. So there's nothing that's going to disprove that to me. So I just said back to the guy, fortunately, my face that I wake up to every day that looks continually younger and the farther I get from veganism is enough evidence for me. Thanks for giving me a good laugh, though. They always have these comebacks that they think are super smart, and it's really just what every single vegan says. And unsurprisingly, he said back, sorry you did a plant-based diet wrong. It's really not that hard, LOL. Millions are thriving, which that's BS. There are not millions of people doing a strict vegan diet that are thriving, including me and many professional athletes. Okay, what about the statistics of professional athletes that go from being vegan back to animal products that have a ton of success and their health improves? What about that? I get ex-carnivores every day with terrible health issues at my medical clinic. And this is the misunderstanding that I almost can't blame these people for, is that they claim that they work with carnivores when they have no true understanding of what carnivore is. When they say carnivore, they're including all the people that are on the standard American diet, which is not a carnivore diet. That diet is just as unhealthy, I would say, maybe a little bit better because it includes animal nutrients, but still, it's just as bad, I would say, almost as veganism. So in no way do I think the people that were going into his clinic, because clearly he was some kind of a health professional, in no way do I think that they are healthy, I'm sure, because they're probably on the standard American diet, but he has a completely botched perspective of what my diet is. As a person on a hyper carnivore diet, I am not eating the standard American diet. I'm not including any of those ingredients that are in processed foods. And he is including those people in what he's speaking about, if that makes sense. So then this is where their argument always falls apart. They end up insulting my appearance. It's almost like a playbook. They make a comment that's pretty asinine to begin with, but it's at least attempting to debate and say that my way of eating is wrong when veganism is right. Like, they attempt to present some form of evidence or argument, but then the second step in the playbook is just insulting my appearance by saying something completely inflammatory or asinine. So he commented on something else, a picture of me, and said, looks like Jeffrey Dahmer's sister, which is that an insult? Like, it probably is, but I don't even know what this dude looked like. I don't know what Jeffrey Dahmer even looked like. I guess he couldn't let it go, and he commented again under his previous comment and said, again, your diet is a fad with no science behind it. Oh, that's actually really funny too, because there are many doctors that recommend an animal-based diet. How dumb can you be? Meanwhile, the blue zones and Mediterranean diet are 90% plant-based and have an abundance of science and recommendations from professionals. You're just someone who has no idea how to properly plan out a nutritional diet. And it's really funny too that he points out the Mediterranean diet. It's almost like he's debunking his own argument, because a Mediterranean diet still includes animal nutrients. So again, completely pulls the rug out from under the argument he's trying to make. So that was that. The guy was clearly biased and had no interest in even like reaching a common ground with me, so I think I just ended up ignoring his comments. This was another funny one. Another guy commented on something and said, do you know what science is? So I said back, do you know what a soy boy is? This is the ultimate situation that happened on the wall of shame. So I had made a whole written out post. I remember I was at work one day, so I couldn't make a video about it, and it was just on my mind. Made a whole post about the 3 telltale things that go on with vegans health-wise that are health issues that they just completely overlook and say that they're perfectly healthy, which tend to be digestive issues, mental health issues, and something else. I can't even remember anymore. So this guy, I guess, found it. He was vegan and he commented back on this post. There is just so much wrong with this post. I honestly wish that people would not be so absolute about what is healthy and what is not. There is general research, yes, but it is still up to the individual to find what dietary needs you have. Not a single diet is suited generally for everyone. For me personally, the vegan diet has almost definitely shown improvements where others I have tried before, like Carnivore, failed to deliver. Every person, patient, individual has a different lifestyle, different health problems, which mean everyone has different dietary needs, and no diet is suited for everyone. I am really happy for you that you found your way, but I wish you wouldn't say that this is suited for everyone. So the funny thing was about this guy, he left that comment and I felt it was fairly reasonable. I understood where he was coming from. I don't think I was even going to respond to him. I just saw it and I was like, well, okay, but I'm still going to talk about this. And I was just gonna ignore it, but then I believe that other people started to comment back to him, and that was when I stepped in because I had my own comments. So again, his premise was that he tried a bunch of different diets. He even tried carnivore, which I'm very skeptical of, but veganism worked best for him. So one of my followers commented back to him and said, "Are you though? Stelara and Remicade and most other IBD biologics are made from mouse proteins, sad, abused lab mice." And she commented again and said, "Your last post talks about how badly your health is deteriorating due to IBD and you can't lead a normal active life. How are those mouse protein biologics vegan?" And then she commented to me, "Check his most recent post. His health is deteriorating to the point where he can't do normal active hobbies. Surgery is on the horizon. Mouse protein biologics, but so vegan." So that was the very hypocritical thing about this guy. He commented that previous thing, and when you looked at his own profile, he had just within the last like 2 weeks made a post about how he's so sick with colitis, I believe, which was the same thing I healed from after I stopped being vegan. He's so sick with colitis and about to get surgery for his irritable bowel disease that he couldn't perform physical activities anymore. He couldn't do sports, and he was clearly very sick. He also openly admitted right on his Instagram, right where you could easily find it, that he was taking biologics for his colitis, which is not a vegan medication. So it's very hypocritical. So then he deleted all of his comments, literally proving my point, literally proving the whole point of my posts, that vegans always say that they're perfectly healthy, and then they have these telltale issues that almost every vegan has that they overlook. He was proving my point, basically. So I remember just being stunned again at how lacking in self-awareness this person was. It tends to be a trend. I see a lot of vegans acting in the same way. So I think I am going to wrap up this video here. Those 3 situations plus the little ones that I also included have definitely been the most extreme situations that have happened where people ended up on the wall of shame. I will definitely make a video like this in the future when I have some more crazy things happen. If you did enjoy this video, definitely leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know down below what you do outside of tweaking and improving your diet to feel better. What are those comforting activities you do when you are having a bad day? Make sure you subscribe to my channel as well if you want to see more videos like this, and if you want to know next time I post a video, make sure you put on the bell notifications. Alright guys, again too, if you're not following me on Instagram yet, you definitely should. I'm the most active on there. Alright guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye!